This is a Google Maps view of our trip to California. The next leg of it was Saguaro National Park. Now, keep in mind, I've always pronounced that saguaro, but the people at the national park pronounce it saguaro, like to replace the G and the U with a W-A. That's more what they pronounce it like. But we left South Carolina, stopped by Dinosaur Valley State Park, Glen Rose, Texas, and White Sands National Park in New Mexico. Our last two videos show you what those parks look like. Now we're focusing in on Saguaro National Park. This is a Google Maps view. Now what we're going to do is zoom in on the Saguaro National Park area. It's in Tucson, basically, outskirts of Tucson. Thing you need to keep in mind, there's two parts to it. This is like the east part of Saguaro National Park, and that's the west part. But the place you want to go is here, the Rincon Mountain Visitor Center. This is the address of it. Now, it's important that when if you're using Google Maps, you put this address in there to get to that Rincon Mountain Visitor Center. If you just use Saguaro National Park, I'll show you where you'll end up. That's what happened to us. It was a big surprise to us. Anyway, no big problem. We got it figured out and went to the right place. Very nice park, and we'll go ahead and show you some of what we saw there. Now, I need to point out that we visited the Rincon Mountain Visitor Center over here off of Old Spanish Trail. There is actually a larger visitor center over here in the West Saguaro National Park. We did not visit this. As a matter of fact, when we visited here, we didn't even know this existed. We were focused on this. So, but we were kind of running short on time, so we went ahead and left. If you go out there, take a look at the website for both of these. I think you probably, if you got time, should visit both of them. But we only actually attended this Rincon Mountain Visitor Center. It's a little smaller than this Red Hills Visitor Center over here. Well, we're in Saguaro National Park, but it doesn't look like the main entrance. This is actually, we accidentally found this by using just Google Maps to Saguaro National Park. I call it Saguaro, but it's Saguaro. Beautiful there, but you have to actually type in the actual address to the visitor center, whether it's Rincon or the Red Hills Visitor Center. We were looking for the Rincon Visitor Center. This is the correct entrance to the Saguaro National Park, Rincon Mountain Visitor Center. So this is where you need to go. This is the front of the Rincon Mountain Visitor Center. They've got a nice little walk with some really old saguaro cacti. That's a plural. You can also pronounce it cactuses, according to Merriam-Webster. But in any event, nice little walk with different plants. We're going to walk around there a little bit. I'll show you what that looks like, and then we're going to go inside and see what's inside the visitor center. And then we're going to go for a drive around a loop trail just out behind the visitor center. It's very nice. I think you'll enjoy this. I'd encourage you to stop this video where you're interested in a particular subject so you can read the displays. I'm not going to read them to you. That's your choice. Impressive. One of the interesting things I learned during this visit is that saguaro cacti live a long time. They often can exceed 150 years. I had no idea before this visit. Also, when they're first getting started, they usually have something like a mesquite or another type of tree as a nurse tree. It helps protect it until it gets established. I didn't know that either. Very interesting. I'd highly encourage you during this video to just rush through what you don't really want to look at and hesitate and stop on those sections you do, because I've tried to include a lot here. It may or may not be of interest, but feel free to do as you want with it. The purpose of this particular clip is to just give you an idea of what's in the visitor center here at the Rincon Mountain Visitor Center. So just wanted to give you an idea of what's here. Very nice visitor center. We enjoyed looking around and learned a few things.
Where the outer skin all rots off, and then this is like wood, so it lasts a lot longer than the green stuff. Yeah, it's really cool.
It's cool.
Isn't that cool? And this is what forms inside after the birds excavate for their nest. It's called the cactus boot.
How about that?
You're welcome. It's very light.
Hope you don't mind me taking your picture.
That is the real thing.
How about that?
Isn't it something? So it's kind of like scar tissue where the cactus forms that to protect itself.
That's neat.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And sometimes, you know, they don't quite look, this one's like a great example because it looks just like a boot. Sometimes they're kind of weird, you know, shapes. But yeah, it's pretty cool.
This is a hiking guide provided by it's called the Friends of Saguaro National Park at friendsofsaguaro.org. Very nice map of all the various trails and so forth. Here is the visitor center. We drove around this loop road, and it's one way. I believe it goes that way if I remember correctly. But one place we spent some time was this desert ecology trail. We took a lot of pictures in there. Very interesting. It's very, very beautiful place to go. So you definitely ought to check this out if you're out there. Okay, we're on a one-way loop road around Saguaro National Park from the Rincon Mountain Visitor Center. Wow, look at all those things out there. It's about the same length as the one in White Sands, about 8 miles, I think you said. This is like a big natural garden, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, hard holding this up. There's a good one there. It's nice they preserved all this.
It sure is.
seeing most of it anyway.
There's some of the fruit on top of that cactus.
Really? Yeah.
You see the red
Yeah,
thing?
I saw it. Yeah.
Why is this thing winding? There's the fruit. See it? Did you see that?
I didn't really see it. Wonder, you'd think that the fruit would all come on all of them at the same time. Maybe not.
But that was not on that was a barrel cactus.
Different.
Yeah.
I never would have guessed. It said back in the visitor center that they don't reach full maturity until they're 150 years old. The secret to a long life is sit out here in the heat and do nothing. These things are really tall.
That's amazing. It really is.
Yeah. There's a big one over here.
Desert Ecology Trail. Where is it?
Right there.
Can we walk on over
Sure.
a bit?
I just want to record how quiet it is here. It's like white sands, really quiet. About these saguaros need a shelter tree to get started. So without the shelter trees, saguaros won't get started. Very interesting. They're all over right along here. Little orange berries. Yep, there's flies right here. Look at all those insects on that display. That cactus has seen better days.
It's died.
Something happened to it.
Gosh, look at this one. It's absolutely amazing. It's amazing.
Look, there's some fruit up on the top of that. One
There
little
is.
branch of that. See it up there?
Yeah.
I hope this gave you a pretty good idea of what to expect at the Rincon Mountain Visitor Center in the east part of Saguaro National Park. If you did, please like the video and subscribe and click at our other links. We'd really appreciate it. Thanks for watching.